Momentum. We really want to talk about momentum. We want you to be aware of momentum. And here's a good way to get your attention. When you're thinking about something that you don't want, you got 17 seconds to either decide it's something wanted and focus on it in order to continue the momentum, or 17 seconds to realize it isn't something that you want, and to slow the momentum by lack of attention to it. Esther said to someone the other day, I've got something to tell you and I only have 16 seconds to do it in. So she's been saying, oh yeah, well about that. And then she goes 16, 15, 14. Sometimes just counting distracts her from, sometimes chewing on her arm keeps her from speaking it. But the thing that we really want you to be aware of is the momentum. The momentum. Esther remembers the first time that they drove in San Francisco and those ridiculous hills. She couldn't believe that anybody actually thought that was all right. And so we want you to imagine your car sitting on the top of one of those hills, and your car is in neutral. You don't have a parking brake applied, and you just sort of bump your car from behind and it begins its momentum forward. But you're wise because you know about momentum, so you just step right out in front of your car and you let it bump up against you and it stops and all is well. But you wouldn't want to be at the bottom of that hill stopping the momentum of that car, because you understand momentum. So we want to ask you to consider the momentum that gets going with a thought. And there are plenty of beliefs. Beliefs are just thoughts that have plenty of momentum. And some of the beliefs that you hold serve you really, really well and completely merge or mesh or align with the knowing that the source within you holds about you and everything that you think about. But some of your beliefs are not serving you well. And so some beliefs you want to encourage the momentum, some beliefs you want to slow the momentum. And so we'll be talking about that here today. We want you to realize that the way you increase momentum is just give it more attention. So if it feels good, focus on it more. Become as detailed as you can. That's when you want to rampage your appreciation about it. But if you're feeling negative emotion, that's not when you want to increase the momentum. That's not when you want to apply more attention. That's when you want to distract yourself. And now we want to say to you something really important, and we're going to give you our favorite analogy in order to help you to always remember this point at this point of our conversation. Sometimes it is as if you say to us, Abraham. Hear how lovingly you address us. Abraham, 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 I've fallen out of an airplane and I have no parachute. What do you think I should do now? And we say, hang on, it will be over in a little bit. Because there's a momentum that's already underway, that there is not much that you are likely going to offer in terms of action that's going to change the outcome of that momentum. And the reason that we give you this favorite analogy is because we want you to realize that sometimes you've got a belief that has momentum, and sometimes you get off on the wrong foot or out on the wrong side of the bed or into that negative momentum just because of habit, and things are unfolding in a way that you would like to stop. And here's what we want you to hear more than all other things that you ever hear from us: that really is not the time to try to effort your way out of the situation, because every bit of attention you give to any subject when the negative momentum is moving rapidly just increases the momentum. It makes it worse, not better. And you know that. Haven't you ever tried to get to the bottom of an issue with someone that you love? Did you ever get to the bottom? There's no bottom. Law of attraction promises there's no bottom. There's no bottom to how good you can feel. There's no bottom to how bad you can feel. There's no bottom, because everything is expanding. So the point that we really want to make early on in this conversation is that when you are aware that you are feeling negative emotion, just hunker down as best you can. Take a nap if you can. Meditate if you can. Do whatever you can to stop the momentum, which does not include discussing it with someone else. It does not include thinking about it, blogging about it. It doesn't include writing an email about it. It doesn't include any more attention to it. It doesn't even include praying about it. Because when you give your attention to unwanted things, you perpetuate the momentum of that unwanted thing, and you practice the vibrational frequency of it and make it more likely that it's going to continue. We also would like you to understand that you can get enough positive momentum going in a day to accomplish anything that you want, and that's hard for you to hear, but in time you will come to understand it. You're going to feel like the maestro. You're going to feel like the orchestra leader. You're going to feel like Harry Potter with the magic wand. You're going to begin to feel this leverage of energy that flows to you and through you, because you have the energy that creates worlds flowing with you. You've just got to understand it, what it feels like when you are flowing it and what it feels like when you're not. And so that's what we'll be talking about in these hours that we are together. We love knowing that you are the creator of your own reality. And there is nothing that we want more for you to know than that you are the creator of your own reality. And most of you are understanding that. That's why you're here. And we adore helping you to fine-tune. We love so much helping you to discover the vibrational frequencies of your being and learning to contour them. We want you to know that you create your reality by contouring your thoughts, and that you don't do it all at once, but that you have a guidance system within you that will help you to do it. And you also have a very responsive universe all around you, giving evidence all day, every day, of what your vibrational frequency is. Esther had one of the most enlightening and therefore satisfying days of her entire life at the Del Mar Fair, where grandchildren Kate and Luke demonstrated the principle of your vibrational point of attraction with such vividness that Esther will never wonder about it or law of attraction again. At the outset, almost the moment that they walked in the gate, Esther said, in her enthusiasm of the magnificent day that was going to unfold, because who doesn't want to be there with all of that? She said, there is a lot to choose from, so if you feel attracted to anything, just point at it. And right away, Luke said, I'm attracted to that. And it was a wheel. It wasn't a game. It was a sort of wheel. And so Luke spun the wheel and won free tacos. She wasn't very excited about. And then Kate spun the wheel and got something she really didn't want, a chance to win something at Knott's Berry Farm. And she looked slightly disappointed, and the nice man said, spin the wheel again, sweetheart. So she did. Got the same thing. The stupid tickets to win something that she didn't want. And she looked slightly disappointed. And the nice man said, spin it again, sweetheart. So she spun it again and got Slurpees from 7-Eleven, something that she talks about incessantly. So there it began. Kate's world was responding to Kate in the most magnificent way, and Luke's world had turned to manure already. Because not only did he not get what he wanted, Kate did, which just made it so much worse. And then the day unfolded where everything Kate touched turned to gold. There was a basketball game where Luke's really good at basketball. He has a hoop in his backyard and he's really, really good at it. Just came back from Spurs camp. So Luke's throwing the ball and it's just bouncing back, bouncing back, bouncing back. Esther invested close to his college education in the game. 3 more balls, please. 3 more balls, three more, please. Kate threw her first ball and it went right in. and she won a great big Pegasus. Oh, it was so big and beautiful. And Esther looked at Kate, and then she looked at Luke, and she could see the momentum had already begun. We won't tell you all of the details, but it was a remarkable day of Kate winning so much that they had to make a trip to the car to put it all in. And Luke saying, "It's like they don't want me to win." They had gone because there was a train concert. When Esther discovered Train, she called them and said, "You have to come. We'll go to the fair and we'll see Train." And everyone was excited because everyone in that family, this family, loves Train. So a nice man comes through the audience and picks Kate. "Would you like to go on stage with Train?" Can you imagine? And are you getting the full implication of all of this? Before the concert, Luke had explained that his favorite Train song was Mermaid, and he knew all the words. That was the song that Kate got to sing on the stage. And then the concert ended. The band left the stage. The audience was thrilled and clapping and clapping and clapping and clapping and clapping, and Train came back, sang another song. It was so wonderful, and tossed out 3 last t-shirts into the audience. Kate got one of them. And as they left the grounds, Esther thought, "I loved this day so much, because I've been Kate and I've been Luke, and Luke's been Kate and Kate's been Luke, and everyone I know has been one or the other of them." And it was such a glorious opportunity to watch the speed with which the universe is responding to the chosen point of attraction. And it was also interesting to Esther because she wanted more than life itself to explain to Luke, "You see, honey, see how Kate feels and see what's happening, and see how you feel and see what's happening." But it was not a teaching moment for Luke. It never is it? That's not the time to talk about what you're doing wrong. It's not the time to talk about what anybody else is doing right. It's not the time to talk. It's not the time to try to fix it. It's not the time to try to fix it for someone you love, and it's not the time to fix it for yourself. Because the more effort you apply when that momentum is underway, you can't buck your own current. And that is the strongest thing that we want to say to all of you. Give yourselves a break and realize that your chance to choose your momentum, your chance to choose your point of attraction is early on. Early in the day. And we'll talk more about that in just a moment. We want to give you just one more piece of how this all fits together, and then we'll talk to you about anything that you want to talk about. It is our expectation that you're going to live happily ever after as a result of this understanding that's going to come fully, momentously into your conscious awareness. Never again are you not going to understand what's happening to you or anybody else. You're going to understand the laws of the universe so vividly that you will never again wonder why it's happening to you the way it is, why it's happening to anybody else the way it is. And further, you're going to gain control, not all at once, not in one day at the fair, but you're going to gain control of your own vibrational output. And when you do, you will access the leverage of the energy that creates worlds, and you will find yourself with that magical energy and power and alignment and vitality and invincibility that you were born to experience. It's who you are. It's how it should be for you.